No Room in Hell still has players, still to this day, and that's for a lot of reasons, even despite its bugs that it has in here and there. And that's because there's a lot that this game has, like between weapons, maps, and even mods in the community that even Left 4 Dead doesn't have. I mean, there's even zombie children that is honestly a lot of fun to smack around with shovels and things like that. And the zombie children, I think, was honestly just a lot of fun and just the extra add-in that it gave that the new zombie games don't even have. I don't even think No Room in Hell 2 has zombie kids. Yeah, it doesn't. That's right. They removed it. They just completely did away with that. And there's more weapons in this game than even Left 4 Dead has. Now, Left 4 Dead is kind of the predecessor of this game. It came kind of after, and this game was way before it. So this is what started Left 4 Dead. This was, in a sense, the very first Left 4 Dead. And it does a lot of things that it just does right. And they just removed it. I think if they took this game and Left 4 Dead and kind of put them together, it would honestly be a fantastic game that would sell really well. I personally like No Room in Hell better, but the graphics obviously have aged. Now keep in mind this game is completely free, so you can try it out right now, and there is a ton of lobbies available. Some of them do use mods here and there. Like, you can play Call of Duty, Left 4 Dead, Call of Duty maps and things like that. But honestly, this game's pretty good. Overall, I've had a lot of fun playing it, and it's definitely enjoyable. I would recommend getting some teams of people in there, and it does have kind of a Left 4 Dead vibe to it. A lot of the Souls games, I think, have a lot of nostalgia, and that's why they are still around, because the old Half-Life games are still played, like the old Souls games, and CSGO is still consistently played. It's just the Souls games I don't know, they have a sense of nostalgia to them, and they were back in that day and age when games were actually made just to be fun and entertaining. They don't have all the extra story crud and things like that in it. And Left 4 Dead doesn't really have that anyways. Valve's been pretty good about making games that are just made to be fun. Oh yeah, you can see I'm dying right here. I had no idea how to heal myself, honestly. The healing's a little different than what I'm used to. Yeah, they went a little realistic with the healing. I just kind of bled to death. Oof. But the community seems to be pretty good as well. There was a lot of guns in this game. There was a ton of guns. And there's different modes as well. There's like, this is kind of your Left 4 Dead style mode that we have right here. There's also like a survive mode where you have to survive in one spot as long as possible and make barricades and things like that. So right here, this is a survive mode on a Call of Duty map. Yeah, the open source games they never die. They just stick around, and I think that's because they have a sense of nostalgia. But the problem is, I think as time goes on, less and less people are going to have the nostalgia of them, so eventually they probably will die off, sadly. But the Half-Life games are still around, because you got people like me that grew up with them. I grew up with Half-Life. I was going to say Call of Duty. Half-Life. Half-Life was the first FPS I ever played. No Room in Hell is pretty new to me. I actually didn't play that up until a lot recently when I played it on my channel for the first time. I played Left 4 Dead though, and between the two, I actually kind of prefer No Room in Hell to a certain degree because I think some of the aspects it has is just more entertaining. There's just less items and less stuff in Left 4 Dead. I think if they made a updated version of No Room in Hell, it would be better, but No Room in Hell 2 was kind of the updated version, and they removed a bit of content. And the Half-Life map is even playable here, so I mean, you can literally, there's so many maps you can play between just the base game. And so if you want like a zombie shooter that's free to play, honestly, this is the one you should play. Because it's even better than kind of Left 4 Dead in a lot of ways. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Left 4 Dead, I do. But there's things about this one that just kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. Now, No Room in Hell 2 is not free. You have to actually buy it. And yet they removed content. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You think they would have made a better version and kept the mechanics that people played. I think more people plays No Room in Hell than the second game, just because there's more content in it that people liked. I mean, the zombie kids, for instance, they removed them, and a lot of people liked them. They just kind of added a little more realism to it. I just thought it was kind of funny. What other game has that? I mean, I think it's kind of funny. You just get smacked in the ankles, and it's like, what the heck? Like, this little kid just smacking you in the knee. Oh, okay. You don't really usually expect that. Most zombie games, it doesn't happen. I don't know. Maybe it's just the new. We can't have that anymore because modernized stuff needs to be censored. That's probably what it is. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably because no, it has to be censored now. All games have to be censored. We can't have this kind of stuff. I bet that's what it is. I think it was more of a censoring thing. I mean, the only other game I ran into something like that is Dying Light, but they'll just stand there and scream at you, so it's not really a good add-in for it. Like, theoretically, you could probably play the entire Half-Life game through this, actually, if you played each map. So, you could probably play all of Half-Life and Home and Hell, actually. Keep in mind, though, is friendly fire, as I am gonna get shot, and right there, by a teammate. Yeah. So there was friendly fire. He probably thought I was a zombie. I don't know. Because when you die, you turn into a zombie. That's another thing that this game has that I haven't really seen in a zombie game. When a player character dies, they come up as a NPC zombie that attacks the other players. I think what they should have done was allow you to play as a zombie and attack your teammates. I think that would have been more entertaining. Like, this guy's infected Hale, and he's just gonna, yep, he just offed himself because he was infected. he just gave up on life. He was like, yep, no, I'm not gonna become a zombie. And so if you die, you won't become a zombie, but if you are infected and the infection is what kills you, then you will become a zombie, which is an interesting aspect. And I like that about it. I feel like it has a goody, realistic vibe to it compared to the new ones. I don't know. I just like No Room in Hell. It was a little hard to get a decent lobby, though, and I think that's because it's just kind of an old game. So it did take me a minute to make a gameplay recording, actually, because there's a lot of gameplay footage that I just didn't use. Because it just was either not interesting or it was just I didn't find a lobby with enough people, or the people just kind of sucked at it, and we just died instantly. Every now and then you get a good lobby. So if you do play it, just keep in mind it might take you a minute to get a solid lobby, especially because there's just not as many people as there used to be on this game. But is it playable? Yeah, it's still playable. It's not really that buggy either. There was a few here and there, but it actually runs really well. It's pretty much a mod made from the Half-Life engine, but it plays really well. So, personally, I would check it out, especially if you're a Left 4 Dead fan, because this is the game that came before Left 4 Dead. So I guess what I said was wrong about Left 4 Dead being I think predecessors means it came before, right? I don't know. I make YouTube videos, okay? I don't have to have the exact grammar. Alright, we just shoot things on this channel. That's this whole channel. We shoot things, we smash things in the head. That's what we do. Like I'm doing with this zombie right now. But yeah, I mean, I like zombie games. And I think this one's a decent one. It's just kind of hard to play because it's hard to get a lobby of decent people that knows what they're doing. Because there's a lot of squeakles, I feel like, that's just stopping it because it's a free game. But overall, it's a fun game. I would definitely recommend trying it out. But anyways, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Let me know if you still play this game, if you're still even thinking about playing it. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.